Is the second generation of the Nitecore NU25 better than the original? It's lighter, it's brighter, it's got a bigger battery, but there's one thing about it that's driving me nuts. I've been using the original NU25 for about 2 years now, and it's by far my favorite headlamp. It's actually the headlamp that got me to switch over to USB rechargeable batteries. It's super bright at 360 lumens. It's very light, about 55 grams, and some people made some mods for this headband to make it into shock cord to make it even lighter. But what I like about it is it's just really easy to use. Prior to using the NU25, I had a black diamond storm that was really confusing to use. I had to bring a cheat sheet on the trail just to figure it out. And what I loved about the Gen 1 of the NU25, it was just 2 buttons. One button turned on the white light and one button turned on the red light, and then you use those buttons to adjust the brightness. Nitecore recently came out with their second generation of their NU25 and a new version called the NU25 UL, which stands for ultralight. The actual headlamps are exactly the same. They function and have the same specs. The big difference is in the bands. The regular version comes with this hybrid headband. Half of it is the traditional elastic, and the other half is shock cord that you adjust using the toggle over here. I like that this is yellow because if you drop it in the dark, you can see it. And it's also reflective, so your buddy or oncoming traffic can see you if you're using this as for running. It also has these clips on the back side of the headlamp, so you can detach the headlamp from the headband so you can wash this, or as Nitecore says, use it as a sweatband. Not too stylish though. The ultralight version is all shock cord, making it just 45 grams. Like the regular version, it adjusts using the toggle in the back, but the shock cord actually runs right through the body of the headlamp, and there is a foam pad in the middle, making it very comfortable to wear. Both versions, the regular and the ultralight, adjust to about 60 degrees. I wish the headlamps actually came in yellow like the original version. I bought yellow because if you drop this in the dark, it's much easier to see than just a black piece of plastic. But I can live with that because there's so many other great upgrades. And just a quick note, if you're finding value in this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click that like button. It really helps this video and my channel quite a bit. One of the biggest upgrades is the battery. It went from a 610 milliamp hour battery to a 650 milliamp hour battery, giving it much longer runtime in most modes. But the biggest upgrade in the battery is the way it charges. Now it's using a USB-C charge, which is 10 times quicker than the micro USB and much more universal, unless you have an iPhone. They also moved the charging port from the bottom of the unit to the side, making it a lot more convenient if you have to use the headlamp connected to an external battery source. Another upgrade related to the battery is a battery life indicator. And it's on the top of the unit, and if you just tap the mode button, you'll see that there's 4 LEDs that light up, each corresponding to 25% battery life. Way easier to tell how much battery you have than trying to decode the light flashes in the original version. Gen 2 also got brighter. It went from 360 lumens to 400 lumens. And Nitecore achieved this by adding LEDs. This version now has a floodlight and a spotlight and 2 red LEDs. And they're controlled by using the mode button. And this is some of my beef with this product. I really like the simplicity of the original version, and having the different modes gives you a lot of versatility, but it also adds complexity. It's not quite as hard to use as the Black Diamond, but it's not quite as easy as the original. So even though it's got those extra LEDs and extra modes, it's still pretty easy to use. It functions much like the original because the default mode is the mixed mode, which uses both the floodlight and the spotlight together. So when you hold down the power button, that turns it on into the low powered mixed mode. Hit it one more time, you're in the medium powered mixed mode. Last time you get into the high powered using both LEDs. Hold the power button down again and it shuts off. And you can actually hold the mode button to turn on just the red light. So in that sense, it works just like the original. Hold down the mode button to turn off the red light again. Then if we turn it back on, we're in mixed mode. We can cycle through the different modes by hitting the mode button. First is the floodlight, which has a high and a low by cycling through the power button. Hit the mode button again, and now we have the spotlight, which cycles through again, a high and low by using the power button. One more time it goes to red, and then finally back to mixed mode, and we can turn it off by holding the power button. So pretty easy. With the original NU25, I would typically hike on the mid-power mode, which is 38 lumens and about 8 hours of runtime. Occasionally I'd have to bump it up to the high power mode, which gives you 190 lumens and 5 hours of runtime. What's nice about the second generation, having those two LEDs in mixed mode, the low power mode gives you 60 lumens and 10.5 hours of runtime. So you're getting a third more lumens and 2.5 more hours of runtime. Then if you bump it to the mid power mode, you're at 200 lumens, which is 10 more than the high power on the original, at about the same 5-hour runtime. And I think having those two LEDs, the floodlight and the spotlight, just illuminate your path a lot better. One feature I like about the second generation is the low power floodlight. So if you double click the power button, you get this 6 lumen floodlight, which is much more usable than the 1 lumen on the original. And like the original, it does have a lockout mode, and it works the same way. If you just hold down both buttons, you'll get a flash, and now it won't turn on accidentally when you throw it in your backpack. And finally, it does have an SOS and beacon mode. Those are activated by double clicking the mode button. It goes into SOS mode. To switch over to beacon mode, just hit the power button, and now you're in beacon mode. To turn this off, you just hold down the mode button. There's a lot to like about the second generation of the Nitecore NU25. They're lighter, they're brighter, and they've got longer run times. As far as the two different versions, it's a toss-up for me. I like the idea that this band is yellow and I can see it at night, but the shock cord version, the ultralight version, is just so lightweight and comfortable that this is probably going to be my go-to headlamp. I really wish that they would make the headlamp in yellow like they did the original version, then this one would almost be perfect. The functionality of it is very similar on the surface when you use it in the mixed mode. The changing the modes between flood lamp and spotlight, I don't think I'm going to need that versatility, so it's a feature I really don't need and only adds complexity to it. But all in all, this is a great headlamp, and I'm going to look forward to using it on the trails from here on out. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to click that like button. And if you want to see other outdoor adventures, gear reviews, and how-tos, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. That's it for now. I'll see you guys outside.